When purchasing a property all cash, what are the steps to not publicly record it, and how is the deed structured? Do you recommend purchasing in the legal name or the foundation name? If there's a pushback from the county recorder / title company, can you help with resources? We are currently purchasing property and want to step up the transaction correctly at the onset. So it's a huge question. That's an hour-long answer, and this is why we've talked about those answers over and over and over and over. And the most important is, how's the deed structured? And I've told this story, but basically all old school deeds are buy gold or silver by hand, meaning hand delivered. You're using meets and bounds. That's the description of the land. You're not going to use a legal description. And the recordation type would be fee simple. And you put a return address that's other than yours, and it's private counsel. And you record it in the name of the foundation. So what you've done is you've taken the elements of the FRNs off the table, because there is a Supreme Court ruling that's where Federal Reserve notes are a part of any transaction. They are involved and or have rights to. Secondly, because we fail for lack of knowledge, we're recording air today, which is a legal description. It's everything above the ground. Thirdly, we're recording in error, joint tenants, tenant in commons, largely because that is the way the lenders are asking us to do it, because we're getting a loan. So we don't realize that we're being defrauded from the very beginning all the way across the board onto how to properly purchase land. And just that term real estate is a registered trademark, and it's not something necessarily that I like. So if you want help in that area, a consult would be best, and we would have to sit there and I'd ask you a bunch of questions. If you're in the living in the private, which I believe you are, you can simply ask Rob for a copy of a deed that you can use as a template, and go and watch these short presentations on the Q&As that I've done before pertaining to real estate, because it'll be very helpful for you to understand how to affect a deed, how to potentially combat and pull a property out of the county recorder, and the steps that it would take to require. Now, even if you have a deed recorded in the county recorder, the way that we have structured it does not necessarily grant jurisdiction over that land. And I really want you to get that, because it's the involvement of the FRNs, it's the involvement of the fact that you're using a legal description where they can show that there is a previous block on that land patent area underneath your legal description, to where they have mineral rights, where they have water rights, where they have whatever underneath your land. And so that's why they don't want you to do a deed fee simple, meets and bounds and so forth, even though you can. And so we've helped a lot of people, and we just recently in the last 6 months structured up a deed that you can use as a template to start. But if it's something that you're really interested in, and you don't feel like you're able to be helped, or you don't know what video to look for, ask Rob first for on the trouble ticket what video he thinks that you should be watching. Again, he's just going to go to the real estate records, and he's going to give you several to choose from, because we've answered this question 10 different ways. And it is a little bit of a fight sometimes it's not, but it is something that we can help you with if what we've already provided does not answer your questions completely.